you reckon that nothing's going to change under Daniel Levy, and that's the reason why Thomas Frank's been set up maybe to fail?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say set up to fail, but number one, I don't know why Frank's come in terms of what is the remit. Is it to get top 4? Is it to win a trophy? Is it to make us top 6 again? Is it to develop the youngsters for a project and we're going to see the fruits of it in 2-3 years' time? I don't know what his remit is, so it's very hard to judge him. What I do know is I'm seeing all the telltale signs of great PR, a couple of reshuffles in the boardroom, great media spin to just woo the fans, just reel everyone in again, and then bang, we'll be back to square one in a couple of years. I'm seeing the same patterns again. I'm seeing the same patterns again. And
their reality, their reality, with the greatest respect, you can say it's spin, but it's reality. Peter Charrington's come in as former head of Citibank and Joe Lewis's private banker. It's not a spin. He's been put on the board because they weren't happy with what was going on. And Vinay has come in with his years, his big.
He was a PR man at Arsenal. He's taken Donna Cullen's role. He's just Donna Cullen on steroids.
Don't be so
more than that.
Stel, come on, mate. Mate. No.
Arsenal fans praised him for his engagement with the fan base. He's great with the fans. He knows how to finesse and caress.
You're talking twaddle, mate. Right? There's no way.
No,
right?
That
Vinay, I'd have Chris Waddle.
Vinay was offered jobs in private equity. Listen, Donna Cullen would not have been offered private equity jobs, high positions in private equity in the USA and in Saudi Arabia, and a position at Newcastle. Believe me, right? However good she was and whatever she'd done at Spurs, good, bad, or indifferent, that isn't her level, right? So I'm not having that, okay? And the fact of the matter is, with Vinay's private equity background and his contacts, coupled with Peter Charrington, they're there to dress the ball for inward investment. Whether you like that, to hear that or not, right? That is the fact. That is what they're there for.
Vinay was a PR man at Arsenal, Johnny. He was a PR guy. He improved fan engagement at Arsenal. That was his biggest. That's the one thing all Arsenal fans praised him for.
That's all he did, right? That's all he did. Nothing. What about the women's football team? How much did that bring him in?
Well, I thought that's what Scott Munn came to do.
How about the Adidas still?
Wasn't that what Scott Munn was here to do?
No,
he's got experience in the women's
game.
Guys, one at a time.
What's Scott Munn? Or, Munn too clever, right? He did nothing, right? He did absolutely nothing. You're gonna compare.
I agree. I questioned it. I said, "Why is Munn here?" I never understood it.
But Vinay, I'm sorry, I'm not having that, right? I mean, the guy bought in the naming rights deal for Arsenal. He was well involved with that, and the Adidas deal for their big kit deal, right? To diminish what he did at Arsenal is really disingenuous.
I'm not diminishing it. Johnny, I didn't diminish it. I said Arsenal fans praised him because of his excellent fan engagement. A lot of the togetherness you're seeing at Arsenal now is because of Vinay's. Well, he is for me. That whole video he did with Levy was the biggest bromance schmooze fest.
Let me just quickly ask you this though, Stel, right? Is it not potentially also true that most fans of all clubs don't care, don't have the inclination, the interest, or the maybe the education to actually look in and understand those areas that are behind the scenes around commercial deals and all that sort of thing? And so the only thing within maybe an entire pizza pie of his responsibilities, the only slice that's visible to the fans is the fan engagement thing. And therefore that's the thing they'll praise him on, but they're not really that familiar with what was going on behind the scenes with regards to other areas of the football club.
I'd fully agree that when it comes to the background, the finances, most fans don't research, don't know, or quite frankly don't care. They just want to moan about something and not maybe understand the financials of their moan to fully back it up. However, what I'm seeing is just a reshuffle. There's always a reshuffle at Spurs. If it's not the football director, it's another body in the board, or this guy's come in to be above the director like Mum was. And every time we reshuffle, it gets bin 2-3 years later. The next shuffle comes in, and the only indicator I as a fan look at is, let me see how this all impacts my football team. And when I look at my football team, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Still, mate, you're talking.
So what do I care about Vinay and his investments and charity and what he's going to bring in?
Hang on a second.
The first thing they do is re-sign Ben Davies.
Hang on.
Why is he still at the club?
Mate,
why is Ben Davies on tour?
You're talking absolute shite. Honestly, I can't actually believe. I'm actually just doing it for like.
Why do you cheer on Ben Davies next season? Let me know how it goes.
Listen, right? It's petty, mate. It's petty because you're not looking at the bigger picture. Mate, you've got to look at the big picture, mate. If you want to draw in investment into the club and turn this club around, you need money in. The club needs money, right? And if you think you're going to draw that with the people that were on the ball before, right, you're having a laugh. Right? If you're going to tell me the former head of Citibank has come in and he's just going to sit there and sign a couple of checks and do nothing, and Vinay's come in for no reason at all, and they're not looking to make the club a better club, then honestly, I don't know what to say.
We hired the guy 5 years ago to get a stadium contract deal.
Why'd you go on about 5 years ago? I'm talking about now.
Because it's the same pattern, Johnny.
No,
then
how can it be the same pattern when he's only
changes? And you've jumped on this bandwagon.
Mate, I have not jumped on the bandwagon, mate.
This is my point.
You can't. I've not jumped on any bandwagon. Listen, Stel, I've not jumped on any bandwagon. Ask Sean in March. Right, I was the only one talking about him coming into the club, what it meant, right? So I'm not jumping on any bandwagon. This is stuff I was talking about months ago, before even Vinny turned up, right? What I'm saying is Thomas Frank's just arrived, Vinny's just arrived, and Charrington's just arrived.
All right, can I ask you a question, Johnny?
What you've decided is they're all a waste of time. They've been here 5
I'm not saying that. No, hold on, 1 minute. I'm not saying they're a waste of time. All I'm saying is I see shuffle after shuffle after shuffle. But here, hold on, Johnny. I'm not saying they're a waste of time. What I'm saying is I see shuffle after shuffle after shuffle, and the team never changes. It never behaves, or the transfers never look like we actually mean business. I hear lots of big things like we're going to do this, we're going to do that, generational this, Premier League is what I want. Yeah. But all I ever see is reshuffles at the high level, but nothing at the football level that I care about.
Can I offer?
Maybe Vinay does something great, but unless I see good players signing for this club, what is the point as a fan?
Can I listen? Because I kind of sit in the middle between both of you here. I think the problem is the
entire chat. By the way, the entire chat is split. Like 50% of them are saying Johnny's nuts, and the other 50% are saying Stel's off his head. So
let me try and bring some balance here to this. I think the difficulty is Stel is 100% right from the point of view of brilliant. Keep reshuffling. Keep telling us about changes. But it doesn't really mean anything until we actually have a transfer window where we go, boom, 100%. This is why we've done it. But equally, Johnny is right from the fact that these sort of shuffles at C-suite level, board director level, you're not going to see the impact like that. And the problem is, where Stel is right, is we've seen this so many times that we go, right, we'll see the fruits of this in a year. We'll see the fruits of this in 2 years. And yet every bloody transfer window is a carbon copy to the transfer window before, where everything that they put into place, whoever it is, we're still sitting here going, we're signing Tells and Takais and Dansos, and we're still not seeing good, ready-made senior pro footballers come in that are ready for a Champions League campaign. So
who's in charge, Saba, right now? Who's in charge? Who's pulling the weight?
Sean, that question is like me trying to understand why my wife's annoyed at me when I've not done anything wrong. Do you know what I mean? That's like, when you sit there and you go, have I annoyed you? No. All right, why are you angry? I'm not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sorry, my wife's watching. I love you. Right. But on a serious note, on a serious note, right? This is the point. We're always in change, and I think what they could have done.
The boy who cried wolf. Is that what you're saying, Sava? The boy who cried wolf.
What they could have done for people like Stel that feel the way he does, and for people like me that are agreeing with Stel on this point, is do all that shit in the background, But for this first window with the new setup of Charrington, Vinay, whatever, just give us a window where we go, okay, we don't need to talk about the board. Like most football clubs, we don't need to talk about the board because you know what? What we're seeing in the transfer window looks really good. If they did that, I'll throw this to Stel. Stel, if you had seen by now 3 or 4 players come in that are first-team players that are good quality, ready for the Champions League, right now, you're not talking about Levy, Vinay, Charrington or any of them, are you? You're talking about, look at the players we've got. Frank's been back. Yeah,
I've always said, even on Tottenham away for years, if this board has good transfer windows, not miracle windows, but good transfer windows, I will not get on their case because they are doing what they can to help the manager to the maximum capabilities that a club like Tottenham can. If I saw that, you wouldn't hear me talk about it, but I never see it. Like, never.
I agree.
But, okay, Lubo, let me ask you this. Same question to you, mate. If the club has got new people on the board, Donna Cullen's gone, but all intents and purposes, we've heard from Matt Law, we've heard from Ben Jacobs, we've heard from everybody that's on that non-transfer related sort of side of football news that loads of changes have happened at Tottenham. It's part of a giant reshuffle. There might be investment coming, or there probably has been investment coming at some point. It's maybe not finalised yet, or it's maybe not announced yet, nor should it be, because it would give away, the cat would be out of the bag, and then you'd be overcharged, the price would be too high for the players. Put to side 1 second the fact that the window's been sluggish at best, is the only word I can think of that's polite about it. If you do have Levy there's a power struggle of some sort. If Joe Lewis is really annoyed by the fact that potential investment in the past has been, cock blocked or whatever, because he didn't want to let someone come in unless he was getting his money, and bearing in mind that Lewis and the family trust haven't taken any dividends, therefore they're not getting theirs when Daniel Levy's, all that stuff's happening. But if there is a new leader, if there are people at the top, doesn't that also explain why Paratici might not necessarily be pulling the strings at the moment as much as he has prior? Because he had a great relationship with Daniel Levy. And yet this window, the silence that comes without this 0 links that are actually meaningful, that reeks of Johan Lang. And therefore, by proxy of that, I'd make the argument that maybe Daniel Levy isn't as powerful as he once was. And so, same question, how can, if nothing's changed, but there's people at the top that are, in your mind, or at least it was a little while ago, they're in charge now, how do you square that circle, Lubo?
Well, I looked at it. Let's go back. The statements sacking Ange. Always, whenever a manager gets sacked, you see Daniel Levy's signature at the bottom. This time it wasn't. This time it was the board, which leads you to think that maybe it wasn't Levy who stuck with Ange all the way through when we were dropping headlong down the table. That it wasn't Levy who sacked him. That maybe it was Lewis who did it. The other thing also, just alluding to what Jonny was saying before, the club need investment. They need money for White Webbs Park. They need money to build a hotel. They are contracted to build a hotel on site because they're selected as a ground for Euro 2028. So they've done the initial work, but they need about 300 million, I think it is, now to build the hotel. So you're looking at it and you're thinking, Charrington's come in. Lewis, Levy, whoever it was, brought in Rothschilds to bring investment in. Nothing's come in a year. Lewis is probably looking at that and thinking, well, what's going on? I thought about time. He's probably thought it's about time we bring Charrington in. Charrington knows, I've been told Charrington is so brilliantly, has an amazing network, knows pretty much every billionaire that's worth knowing in the globe. He's come in. They brought Vinay in, who has in effect replaced Munn as chief of football operations. And when you looked at the situation where you've bought Kudus, you've got Takai, so you've got 60 million there. Then 24 hours after those two, it looks like Gibbs White's coming in. You're thinking there's 120 million in 3 days that Spurs have spent. They have never spent that in 25 years of transfer windows. So at that stage, what I was told was Levy was taking less of an active role in terms of the football side. You're looking at all of that and you're thinking the dots are adding up here. Then you look at the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks nearly. They haven't gone after anybody while the Gibbs White situation was going on. The club have been very, very quiet. I mean, there's been a deathly silence regarding Gibbs White. And why hasn't Vinay come out and spoke? You know, we talk about him being a great communicator. There's been nothing from him regarding what's happened with Gibbs White and what's going to happen going forward. So whether it's Levy in charge running it or whether Vinay is running it for Lewis, the whole thing's an absolute shambles. Now, yes, we've got 5 weeks to go. We may buy players. We may bring players in. No doubt they'll probably come in the last 2 weeks of the window. It'll take ages for them to get integrated into Frank's system. There'll be weeks, there'll be a couple of months behind everybody else. It's not going to help. Frank's got to pick us up from 17th because the training that we've had for the last 2 years has been an absolute disgrace this season. I still say forget Bilbao was fantastic. Thank you, Ange. But he had to go, he had to be our mate to win it.
Thank you, Levy.
Sorry?
Thank you, Levy.
No, thank you, Levy.
The buck stops at the top, though, Lubo.
Sorry, Sean, I'm not having that.
Thank you for Bilbao, Levy.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That freedom of the city, Levy.
Ange got lucky. Ange got very lucky.
So hang on, you're not thanking Ange or Levy.
So no one for that. It's just thank you, Manchester United, for being so shit. Is that what we're saying here?
No, listen, we were hardly PSG who ran through their competition, did they? It was hardly performances on that level. But moving back to this, whoever it is, again, it's a really, you said it very nicely, Sean, very politely. It's been a sluggish transfer window. The four main clubs who have dominated the transfer window out of everyone in the Premier League they've gone out and they've smashed it. These are proper clubs run by proper people who want success for their clubs. And that
is true.
And thank God that Charrington has come in and maybe Vinay has come in, because the 24-year cartel of Levy, Cullen and Collicott, that for me was a complete disaster, bar 1 or 2 years. It has been a disaster based on it's a disaster. I'm a football fan, Sean. I'm not interested in real estate, grounds, training grounds. I'm a football fan. What I'm talking about here, we're talking about the football team. I'm not interested
European football 15 out of the last 17 years.
I'm not interested in leaving.
I'm giving you football. I'm giving you football context. European football. More European football than Chelsea. More European football.
We've had it before Enic, and we'll have it after Enic. This is a big club that aren't respected by the owners. So, Jonny, whoever at fault, going back to and agreeing, coming back to Stel's side of the argument, nothing will change until the ownership changes. And I know it's not easy. It's not like 330 million to buy Newcastle. I know it's 10 times that probably, but we need, the Saudis should have bought us, not Newcastle.